welcome to the video. Let's just jump right in. Imagine earning more money, like substantially more money, but somehow feeling financially worse off by the end of the year. I know, it sounds impossible, right? It's like a mathematical paradox. If more money is coming in, you should obviously have more money saved up. But what if I told you that for so many of us, a massive raise is exactly what triggers a hidden financial trap? So how does someone earn more but actually save less? Well, I want to introduce you to Priya. She's a 29-year-old software QA analyst living in Vancouver. She works incredibly hard, she advocates for herself, and she just scored a massive $15,000 raise. Now, on paper, that is life-changing money. She celebrated, and honestly, she totally deserved to. Yet by December, her savings account had actually shrunk. She went from having $4,200 in savings at the end of year one down to a measly $1,840 at the end of year two. It's completely baffling. Where on earth did all that money go? Well, let's break down the actual shocking math behind this illusion. After taxes, Priya's massive raise translated to an extra $950 a month hitting her bank account. But over the course of the year, her lifestyle expanded by $1,790 a month. She was actually spending $840 a month more than her raise was even giving her. That left her with an invisible $840 monthly deficit against her brand new income. She didn't just absorb her raise, she literally outran it. Section 1. Meet Priya, the anatomy of an upgrade. Let's track exactly where her money vanished, because I promise you there were no luxury yachts or weekend trips to Vegas here. This is a stealthy trap that can catch absolutely anyone. When you look at Priya's year one and year two budgets side by side, it brilliantly illustrates this stealthy death by 1,000 cuts. Her rent jumped by $550 because she could finally afford a nicer apartment. She traded her transit pass for a $480 car payment to make her commute easier. She spent $240 more on dining out because, hey, she earned it, right? We all know that exact feeling. Throw in a nicer gym, some new clothes, maybe a few more streaming subscriptions. Every single micro upgrade made perfect sense in the moment, but combined, these perfectly reasonable choices swallowed her entire macro gain. Her leftover cash plummeted from a super comfortable $1,150 a month down to a really fragile $270 a month. Section 2. The invisible villain, hedonic adaptation. Now, if you're sitting there thinking Priya was just being irresponsible or she lacks discipline, hold on a second. We really need to pivot to the psychology here, because her human brain is doing exactly what it's wired to do. This isn't a character flaw at all. Hedonic adaptation is basically this psychological reset button in your brain, where every new pleasure or lifestyle upgrade eventually just becomes the new normal. Getting a nicer apartment with better lighting or ordering premium takeout, well, that feels amazing for the first 2 weeks. But after a month, it completely stops being a treat. You stop noticing the extra space or the nicer gym equipment. It just becomes your baseline expectation of how your life should be. And this creates what's known as the hedonic treadmill. Step 1, you get a new upgrade. Step 2, you get this initial happiness spike. Step 3, adaptation sets in. And step 4, you have a brand new baseline expectation. You are literally running endlessly on a treadmill of nicer things, needing more and more just to maintain the exact same level of satisfaction. And here is the cruel twist of this whole treadmill. If Priya had to move back to her old apartment now, it would feel like a massive sacrifice, even though she was perfectly happy there just a year ago. Her reference point moved. And meanwhile, her savings rate quietly collapsed in the background. Section 3. The million-dollar mistake. So, what are the actual long-term stakes here? Let's talk about the massive opportunity cost of letting your lifestyle inflation run unchecked. If Priya had just kept saving her original $1,150 a month and invested it at an 8% return, she would retire at age 65 with over $2.3 million. She'd be a multi-millionaire. But because she let her expenses expand to fill her new income, saving only that $270 a month, she's now on track for $542,000. Now, that's still a meaningful sum, but it is $1.77 million less. Think about that for a second. One single year of unchecked lifestyle inflation, buying an apartment that just became normal, a car that became expected, cost her nearly $2 million in future wealth. Section 4. The turning point. So fast forward to December, Priya does her year-end financial review, and the crushing realization of her missing money finally hits her. She calls up her friend, the one who's always been a bit annoyingly sensible about money, and she explains what she's looking at. And her friend delivers this incredibly sobering light bulb moment. She tells her, your raise didn't change your life. Your lifestyle changed your life. The raise just paid for it. I really want you to take a breath and think about that. It perfectly frames the illusion she fell into. The raise didn't give her financial freedom. It just funded an increasingly expensive version of her normal. Section 5. The solution. The 50-50 raise rule. Okay, let's transition out of the problem and get into some actionable education here. Because how do we actually prevent this from happening to you? Well, the answer is simple, it's counterintuitive, and it is absolutely brilliant. It all comes down to a simple framework called the 50-50 rule. Take Priya's $950 after-tax raise. Instead of waiting to see what's left over at the end of the month, she splits it in half the exact moment she gets it. The first $475 goes straight to future you as an automatic investment. It's literally gone before her brain even registers it. The other $475 goes to Better Life Now for guilt-free lifestyle upgrades. You see, this is a liberating compromise. It's not some restrictive, boring budget. It's a system that ensures your future wealth grows right alongside your current happiness. And let's be totally clear here. $475 a month is still a significantly nicer apartment or plenty of really fancy dinners. You absolutely still get to upgrade. You just don't let the upgrade eat the whole raise. And the difference this makes is just staggering. Without this rule, remember, Priya was heading for that $542,000 retirement. But with the 50-50 rule applied, by automatically investing just half of her raise on top of her baseline savings, her projected retirement jumps to $3.44 million. That is a $2.9 million difference made by one single automated decision, splitting the raise in the first 48 hours before her brain could even adapt to it. Same job, same city, same person. Completely different financial destiny. Section 6. Defining your enough. Let's pivot to the final actionable steps you can implement in your own life right now to take control of your next paycheck. Priya now outsmarts her own brain using a really clear roadmap for any income bump, side hustle, or bonus. Rule 1, capture before you celebrate. You basically have a 48-hour window where the money still feels extra. Automate the transfer to your investments in that window before your brain reclassifies it as standard income. Rule 2, upgrade deliberately, not automatically. Most lifestyle inflation is completely passive, so don't just say yes to every micro upgrade. Review them yearly and ruthlessly cut the ones that don't actually bring you joy. And Rule 3, which is probably the hardest but definitely the most important, define your enough. Actually, I want to challenge you right now. Write down your enough number. What does your ideal lifestyle actually cost per month? The apartment, the food, the travel, the version of your life you'd genuinely be satisfied with. Put a hard number on it. Because when you define your enough, that number becomes your ceiling. Any excess income you earn past that point goes straight to your future self. It builds genuine freedom instead of just funding an endless, exhausting, and really expensive normal. Which brings us to the end of this video, and I want to leave you with a final, provocative question to think about. Is your next raise going to genuinely change your life, or just quietly change your lifestyle? It is your money, and with tools like the 50-50 rule, it's absolutely your choice. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this helps you build the future you deserve.